Schlat. 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 It's your boy Slimeball FM. So obviously there's been some bad news to happen since the last episode. However, there's also been some good news. There's been so this is going to be more of like a transfer special kind of episode for you schlats and schlans. So the first signing that we made was Titus Bramble on a free. I think that he can be a solid starter for us to go along with Yobo. He'll start with Yobo. The next signing that we made is Salvatore Aurelio. A nice young player, but it was also just it was a free transfer. So I mean, what's the worst it could be really? And he has 20 pace. So I mean, after that, of course, we signed De Gea, Busquets, Bojan, which I thought was an interesting one, especially because there's only 135,000. I mean, of course, look at the potential. And then we signed Eden Hazard, who's already made 2 substitute appearances in the Premier League. We signed Raja Nainggolan for 1.4 million. He can be a nice attacking mid in the future, but he's only at 1-star current ability right now, of course. We signed Lasse Kvist. He has 4.5-star potential, 2-star current ability. He's a good striker. Then of course we signed someone you guys will definitely know in Edinson Cavani, 19 years old, 2.5-star current ability already, and 5-star potential. We signed him from Danubio for 2.2 million. Then we signed a center back by the name of Loic Abenzoer. He's going to be on loan for the first season at Barnsley because he's only 17, but he has pretty decent potential, I think, if I remember correctly. I think that's the only reason I ever would have done this. Yes, he has good potential. And then we signed Mats Hummels, of course, who, you know, whatever my scouts think of his potential, I do know how he ended up being in real life, so I'm just going to kind of trust that. And then I signed this dude Steve Pinau, who my scouts were really high on, for 3.9 million. I signed Oscar Trejo for who has 4-star potential. I signed him for about 4 million, 4.5 million, or yeah, 4 million. I signed this player Matthias Cahais for 4.5 million. And then here's the one I'm the most excited about. We signed Kurlan for 5.25 million. Of course, the player with the famed seal dribble. Where's his scout summary thing? Yes. I mean, I don't know. Wait. Oh, scout report. Yeah, here we go. 5-star potential, 2-star current ability. He's currently out on loan at where was it? At Ascoli in Italy. He has a pulled hamstring right now, but I think he'll he was very injury prone. Hold on, let's make sure this isn't that this isn't carrying over. Okay, this isn't terrible. It's not ideal. We're gonna let me show you but ignoring that, right? Because I've already paid for him now. Let me show you the goal that he scored in his debut. Which game was it? It would have been maybe this one. Yes, here we go. In the FA Cup third round against Coventry, he got his debut right after he arrived at the club, and this was the goal he scored. Schlet. Look at this. Look at what a peach of a goal. The goalie definitely could have done more with it, but that's a brilliant volley, and that was on his debut. I think he got subbed. I think I subbed him. No, he started this match, of course. I definitely subbed him in for his debut, but still, I mean, that was a brilliant goal. That first, I think he may have played in this Premier League game as a sub, but then he played. He started in the Coventry game, and that's where he scored. That sounds familiar. I'm not positive. Okay, so we're gonna go through what you've missed, which is quite a bit. So I think the last match was that Man U match. So we beat Charlton, then we tied to Arsenal, which was obviously a massive result. We beat Man City. Then we went on a little 4-game winning streak here. And then we won in the League Cup quarterfinal before tying to Watford, which was, of course, disappointing. But then we beat Liverpool 2-0 at Anfield, which was a fantastic result. Then we lost 5-2 to Tottenham, which was very poor, obviously. I mean, 5 different goal scorers. I mean, we just got absolutely dominated. A lot of it was towards the end of the match. Okay, 2 of the goals were at the end of the match, but still, it was quite poor from us. So then we came back with a 2-0 win. 2 goals from my boy Andy. This is not this is Andy Durr, whatever. I couldn't pronounce his name, so I just changed it to Andy. I think for Andy Johnson, we're going to change his name to Good Andy, and the other one is just going to be Andy, because Andy's not very good, but on his day, I mean, he's on good form lately, to be fair. So yes, and then the Coventry game, Kurlon and Andy scored, and then McFadden had 2 in the first leg of the semifinal before we went on a little off run. We had 2 back-to-back 0-0 draws in the Premier League before we then won in the home leg of the Merseyside derby 3-0, which was obviously a massive result, and then we tied Bolton in the FA Cup 4th round first leg. We gave Hazard, Bojan, Kurlon, players like that a run. So I mean, it wasn't like it was too surprising a result. And then Newcastle, we played them for the second leg, and of this League Cup semi-final where we won 4-2. Andy, Tim Cahill, Lescott, and McFadden all scoring. And then this League Cup final, which will be where the next episode is, this, I guess maybe the doubleheader against Reading will be the next episode. What do you call it? This League Cup final is again be against Reading, which really gives us an excellent opportunity to make Europe. Which, I mean, I think we will already do, as we've maintained our Champions League spot. We're currently in 4th place, just above Man U and Liverpool. Chelsea and Arsenal are still fighting for this title, and Tottenham's right behind them. I don't think we'll be getting into that. I think we just have to maintain our spot, fighting off the challenge from Man U. So I'll see you guys with the lineup for the next match. Schlett. So here's the lineup for the match. We have Tim Howard, Hibbert, Bramble and Yobo in the middle, Valente on the left, and then Phil Neville in the defensive mid spot. Cahill and Davies in the center mids, Osman on the right, Andy on the left, and then Good Andy up top. And then the bench is going to be Lescott, Hazard, Cavani, Naismith, McFadden, and Kvist. So, this is the team that we played against. In the first episode that only exists in my mind. So Unsworth, of course, are Everton's assistant coach in real life, or I think the assistant coach is actually David Ancelotti, but like one of they do this the interim coach whenever these coaches get fired. And then Jagielka obviously would go on to become an Everton legend. Li Tai is Chinese, which I thought was interesting. And so let's go into the game. Last time we won 4-0, and Tim Cahill got a hat trick. So I'm going to tell them expect nothing but a win. And then that didn't really get them going, so I'm going to say I have faith in you. Perfect. Okay. Wow, there is it looks like a packed house at in Sheffield, and it's only 37 degrees. That's very poor. I guess it is in February, but still, it's a cold atmosphere for a match. Also boring so far in the first 20 minutes. No highlights to speak of thus far. And right when I say that, one pops up. Good Andy finds Cahill. Cahill is still scoring against Sheffield. That's his 4th goal this season against Sheffield out of the 9 goals he's got it. I mean, that's absurd, really, if you think about that. That's a brilliant finish from him, though. You look, Good Andy finds him here, and Cahill just bangs it near post. Nothing of the goalie. I think it's, who was it? Ian Bennett, who was 35 then. Okay, so he's like 50-something now. Or 49. Nothing he could do to get to it. I mean, he probably would have the same response now that he had then. So that was a brilliant finish from Cahill. Nothing that looks like they're doing to respond. No like formation change, nothing like that. I would think they would want to change something considering they have 1 shot and 0 on target, but maybe they've just conceded the fact that they're going to lose this match. Or maybe they're going to counter me and score and make me fucking kill myself. How about that? Maybe that's what's going to happen. No, it doesn't look like it. It looks like Bramble's onto it. Bramble, back to Howard. Finds Yobo. It looks like we're playing out the back. We could create something here. I found that, like, you know, while we had Arteta, we were creating a lot through the middle, but I find that since Arteta's gone, we've actually been creating a lot from this right side with Hibbert and crossing it over to the left, which is why, as Cahill almost gets his 2nd goal of the match, which is why I think Andy's been getting a lot more goals since Arteta left, because while our team probably is less efficient now that Arteta's gone, considering he was our best player and like a 5-star player and everything, it's better really for Andy that that Arteta isn't there, because, you know, the ball, he's more of a focal point in the offense without him. So I'm going to say I'm far from pleased with what I just saw from the team. I'm going to tell Andy, not happy with your performance, and then we're going to go into the second half. Especially because last time we were up 3-0 at halftime, so that it's really just like we definitely should be doing better against this lot. I'm going to sub out both wingers. So left wing, how about left wing, we go Hazard. Right wing, we go McFadden. How about that? Or no. I'll say, how would we do something like... No, actually, wait, hold up. Wait, this doesn't make any sense. Okay. I'm going to say we do this, yeah, and then that. And we'll go Hazard and McFadden on the wings and see what can happen here. Hazard is, of course, we have to remember, Hazard is only 16 years old, but he's already capped for the U21. So, I mean, I think he's definitely a special player, and I'm willing to risk our Premier League on Hazard developing. So that might sound dumb, but hey, I'm willing to see what happens. But it is really just the point, isn't it? It's just a game. You want to see how the people develop, and like what would happen if Everton really had a world-class talent at this point in time. So Tim Cahill, I think I'm going to take him off. Who can come in for Cahill? Who can play defensive mid? See, this just starts a rabbit hole, doesn't it? I guess we can put in what's his name, Julian Lescott. Perfect. Okay, and that'll be our last sub for the match. And I think that this was going to be a convincing victory, even if it wasn't like by a large margin. We just absolutely dominated the match. This might be a penalty. I wish I could change the penalties now, but I think it's going to be Good Andy taking it. And so let's see if Good Andy can finish it. And it's 2-0. I would have given it to Hazard, but that would have probably angered the rest of the team. So I'm kind of glad that I wasn't allowed to change it. It gives us a good 2-0 lead. There's no way that they can come back and sneak a undeserved equalizer in the last minute, which is obviously a positive. And so we get a 2-0 victory. We're now 5 points ahead of Man U. We're only 4 points back of Tottenham, really, and 7 points back of the title. Of course, don't want to be talking about the title, but I'm just saying we are only 7 points back. So yeah, I think we're going to come back for I'm going to say I'm very happy with the result. I think that we're going to come back for if we look at the schedule, I think we're going to come back for Reading and the 2 Reading matches. Actually, I think we should start just doing 1 game an episode. I think it's a little easier to digest. So I think we'll just do the League Cup final. Unless it's like a legged thing, like Champions League next year, hopefully, or like any sort of like leg that I need to do, like then I think we'll do 2. But I think for the most part we'll just do 1 game an episode, unless there's like an obvious double. So I think we'll try to make that the default. But anyway, see you guys later. Schlat, schlat, schlat. Schlat. Fuck is wrong with you, nigga? It's slime time, nigga. It's slime time, nigga. You didn't like and subscribe? Well, it's slime time, nigga. So like, subscribe, follow the social medias down below. Cause it's slime time, nigga. Slap.